ابدأ.
لا لسه يا باشمهندس.
اوكي.
تمام يا باشمهندس، احنا دلوقتي لايف نقدر نبدأ.
Okay. Hi everyone. أنا رضا موسى. أنا صاحبة رضا موسى ديزاين. أنا متخصصة على الإكسسوارات في البيت. Product design. Today we're going to talk about interior product curation, which has many aspects, and we're going to start with what are the product designs in interiors, how are they used, what is the sense of curating and why aesthetics are important, and why are they important, and how do the elements of design enhance the products, as well as the future trends of design, to also the future of design in general, where it's heading, the trends that we're seeing and where it's heading. So let's start with the product design. So first of all, we're discussing the product design is more focused on function and how the product works and how it meets the needs of its users. Product design is the overall process of creating. So you start from conception to manufacturing. So it involves defining the products, its purpose, its function, its user requirements, as well as its physical form and materials and construction. So all of this we take in place, and we talk about why a good design product should always take into account its aesthetic function. Aesthetic function can change the whole the curation and aesthetic function of the product, can create more visibility and more usability for the product. So you can have an amazing functioning product, بالنسبة interiors we're talking about, but if the aesthetics are not appealing, or if the aesthetics are not engaging, it's not really going to make much of an impact for its users and for its clients. We can also take it out of design and talk about what is the most used product that we have, mainly the iPhone. And it doesn't really have much competition because of its aesthetic appeal. I mean, people can say that Samsung is a much better, has much better technology than the iPhone, but the iPhone's aesthetics and its curation makes it appealing to the masses. So this aspect is really important, especially in this day and age. So that's something to take into account. And curating is also actually becoming more and more prominent in the design process, because it can shape and create a form of exhibiting its content of the actual product. So with that in mind, we can move on to once you have your actual product, what are some of the design elements that you can use to make the product more aesthetically pleasing? So here we have these elements of design, and so we have colors, patterns, and accessories, and we have more. So we can look at these slides and talk about how these colors have impacted these specific designs. So we can look at slide image 4, we can look at image 9, and the top image with these mustard colored chairs. And you can see the difference of how color makes the room bigger, makes it brighter. And it's been also proven that bright colors tend to create a sense of excitement towards the users, and in terms of the atmosphere in interiors as well. We can also see how patterns make a difference. in this product design, specifically here, this lamp in image 7, if this lamp was just a main, just one color, monotonous, it really wouldn't make much of an impact, because one solid color feels very monotonous. So it wouldn't have such an impact as opposed to the pattern, which makes it more lively and more dynamic. It creates a sense of layering, if you will. If you also look at the accessories here, up here, we have this red green vase. We have these other accessories here as well on top of these books. These accessories can add like a certain, the vases can add a touch of color, which we have here, and as well as a personality to the space that's designed. So these elements make a big difference. We can add also texture to this as well, as you can see in image 8 and image 2. These textures create a sense of depth to the space. They make it more interesting, as well as smooth surfaces tend to have a more cold and austere sense, as opposed to surfaces that are more rough, give it a more cozy, warm, inviting space, as you can see in image 2, and you can see also in image 8 with this curves that the table has. And again, utilizing its colors and utilizing textures as well. So all of these in mind add a lot to the actual product, because product in of itself is not really going to make much of an impact or do much. Sure, functionality is the most important aspect of it all. But when you enhance it, like we have this shelf here in image 5, it's a shelf, it's a bookshelf, it is very functional, it's a storage, you can put books in it, but look how it's so aesthetically pleasing, look how it's curated, look how it looks. It's with a bright pop of color. Its shape is not usual, like your usual type of a bookshelf. It's cut straight into the middle. It's a barrier between both spaces. And this makes it all the more interesting, all the more appealing. And this is what people want. Us as designers, we think we always have to, think outside of the box and create things that haven't been done or haven't been made. But the reality of it is that we create things based on the trends that we've been seeing, things that we've been consuming. So this is where the curation part also comes in, because you have to allow all these trends and images and put them all together, because they also enhance the product and collectively bring together a sense of story and a sense of cohesion and flow within the product and within the space that the product will be utilized as well. So these are things that we really need to keep in mind and think of, like when we're creating something, when you're creating an actual product, there are various steps and various things that you need to keep in mind as well. It's not just, oh, okay, it's functional, it's great, but it doesn't look like anything. There's no point to it in that respect. I at least I think so. So, hello, ma'am. Sorry about that. This fell. Let's talk about also the next slide. Just give me 1 second, please. Just 1 second. Okay. Just 1 second, sorry. Okay, we just have to get to the next slide. Just give me a second. Okay. Okay, so as I was saying, this creates a sense of cohesion and story amongst the design. So these are also really important. to think about. Just 1 second. Okay, so here are the trends for the upcoming trends. So these are the trends that have been taken hold of in that are taking hold in the interior design space. So first we have in terms of product design as well. So first we have the ceramic vase, and the ceramic vase has a sense of artisanal feel, which is making a big comeback now. So we had a lot of these previously, but they were all mainly were mainly white. So this red earthy ceramics has an inherent warmth to it, and it's very commonly seen with ceramics, this earthy tone, but it's usually made with white, so it makes it look more avant-garde here and edgier, and with its curves and various shapes makes a big difference as well. The second image here that we have as well is aluminum made out of sustainable materials, recycled materials, which is a big trend that we're going to talk about also later in the next slide. Aluminum objects. This one is specifically made out of recycled cans, bottled cans, soda cans. So this again ties in with the texture as well, because it has a rough and smooth and shiny and matte feel to it, but it's also very sleek and minimal in its form, and it showcases the material purity of it as well. And there's a contrast between the soft conical silhouette and the edge of the wax aluminum. Also, this is a very functional piece. It's a lamp that's used, so it's very functional, very aesthetically pleasing, and very clean. So this is another great example of it. Next, we have the decorative wall lights. So these wall lights have been very popular as well, but now they're becoming more curated and more aesthetically pleasing because they're taking a more sculptural feel to them. So this is, again, adds more texture, it adds pattern, and they're very carefully positioned wall lights, and this is a focal point in the house as well, in the interiors. It's a very big focal point. Next up, we have the gold-plated ceramics. So ceramics is making a big comeback here. So the ceramic gold-plated give it a more artisanal feel, give it a more vintage feel, as well as making it, giving it just that little touch of elevation without making without creating a lot of visual noise. So lastly, we have also the irregular rugs. These are very popular and going to be even more popular. They have a very scallop-edged, geometric and angular style. They dominate any floor. Again, we're talking about texture, colors, and patterns. And they are unconventional in shape, but they do make the entire space. So these are all things that you need to consider as well. These are all products, they're all product designs, and they have all been carefully curated, and they are definitely aesthetically pleasing. So they're all unique in their own right. So these are all things that we need to keep in mind when we're actually making these products and creating these images. So next up, we have next up, we're going to discuss the future of the design, where it's heading and where it's going as of now. So we talked about sustainability. Sustainability is very important, and how this creates why people are looking into more sustainable products. Sustainability is fundamental because it is the driving demand. There's a big driving demand for sustainable products, energy efficient homes. These are very important in many respects because people want to feel happy about helping the environment, of course, as well as creating something that is energy effective and environmental friendly, of course, as we said. So this is very important, and it's something to take into consideration, and designers are increasingly using sustainable materials and practices in their work. Also, the use of AI is very important as well. The use of AI is very important as well because the use of AI is very important because it's being used in various ways to improve the design process. It can be used to generate design ideas, to optimize layouts. It can predict performance materials. It can personalize, it can identify trends and patterns, and information that can be used to personalize designs for individual clients. So these things are going to be, as we see today, actually, AI has taken over in many respects in the design. So these things are very important to take into consideration for future designs. This is where design is heading. This is where the future is heading. And it's not really something that you can exactly fight. I feel it's something that you just need to embrace and get on with. So again, the future of design we're talking about, there's several aspects that we talked about. So sustainability being one of them, which is very important. There's been a whole also, the furniture company of Herman Miller has a whole line of office chairs that are made from recycled materials. So this is very important in this respect. Also, personalized products that are, a number of companies are using, like Pottery Barn are offering services where people can actually design your own product. So this is a democratization also of designing, where customers are able to go and customize various pieces of furniture. So tech-enabled products as well are making a huge impact in the future, where companies like Neoleaf are offering smart furniture and lighting, where you're able to have smart light panels and they can be used to create various lightings inside and outside of your home. Biolific design, which is kind of shown here in some ways, it's the growing trend of where biolific design in interior spaces, where companies like Abode Living are creating a line of furniture, designed to promote health and well-being for the people. Since we're becoming all more and more health conscious, people want to transmit that and translate that into their home as well. Flexible products as well have been making a huge impact as well. There are a number of flexible interior products, such as modular furniture, wall coverings that we've been seeing, where you are able to reconfigure and reshape in however which way you want. So these are things to look into in the future. As you, prospective students, if you're looking into making actual products, you should think outside of the box, of course, and think into using these last few examples that I have just given to implement in your product designs and interiors in the future, because that's where it's heading. So I would suggest you embrace it and look into really grasping to what the future holds and moving forward instead of moving backwards, or just, going with these future trends, because this is where it's heading. This is where the future of design is heading. So any questions? Does anyone have any questions? Any questions at all? Any questions? Ask away. If you can't do these future styles, this means you should use AI. In terms of what exactly? Like the design aspect or I mean, there's nothing wrong with using AI, to be honest. I mean, it's the future. A lot of designers are using AI. AI also enhances a lot of creativity. It helps with fostering a lot of creativity. So if you want to use AI, use AI. It's a tool that's available to you, to everybody, and plenty of designers use it. And it's the future, and I think more and more people will use it as well. So I don't think there's any problem with you using it. Any other questions? Any other questions? Anyone else want to ask? Ask away. What would an AI add to interior design? An AI can add anything to interior design. I mean, just look at OpenAI, look at all these tools that they have, look at Midjourney, look at all these different tools that are out there. I mean, AI is is uh, is used by actual designers. It's something that can be made more efficient, can create design more rapidly and quickly, and it can be used by anybody. I mean, they have these tools for a reason. I mean, do many people are against it? Sure. Do a group of people agree with it? Maybe not. Not. But I think now people are becoming more and more open to it. You can't really fight technology. it's the future. It's something that actual designers use, most people use, most people will probably use more and more and more. So I think it's something that you should embrace and not necessarily fight. But is it going to take away interior designers and architects and people? No, I think that is always going to stay. There's always the human element to it. But AI is a tool that's efficient and can help, and people use it. Any other questions? The internet, YouTube. There's plenty of sources now. I mean, you just type open AI and there's everything's there. There's YouTube tutorials also on how to use things, and people get inspiration from there. People get designs from there. Like it's a creative outlet. It's a creative tool that can be used. But if you want to learn more about it, I suggest you research online. And YouTube can give you tutorials on how to use, but I don't think it's something that's very difficult to be honest. Just you can Google it, and I'm sure it'll give you plenty of options on the different AIs websites, and to use for people use it for products, people use it for interiors, people use it for people use it for anything really. You can do an AI for anything. But lately it's been growing a lot for interiors. Yes, it's been growing a lot for interiors. Any other questions? Any other questions, guys? Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and listening. And I hope it was informative, inspirational, and I hope you were able to learn, and I hope you were able to take away with some good insight with my lecture. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best.